Okay, so today we are going to talk about engineering your luck. We, like as Gaurav and few other people have said, we always think somebody else is lucky. And it is very true. Some people are lucky. But some people, it seems that they frame their own luck. They're able to navigate from probably rags to riches. And it cannot be done without luck, right? It cannot be just all hard work. So how can we do that? Is there a way that we can do it? Okay. And I'm going to start with this. I know this might be a counterintuitive question for luck. I want to ask you, out of these insurances that you see here, health insurance, life insurance, home insurance, and I want to ask you, how many of you have how many insurances? Can you put it in chat? You know, how many insurances you have, each of you? You have home insurance, car insurance, life insurance, disability insurance, right? There are so many insurances. Just put in, okay, Vijay has health, CA, okay, Sumit 5, okay. All of you have one insurances, right? Now, okay. So now let us see, except disability, you have everything else, okay? Now, let's see, why would you have insurance? Why do you have insurance? Why do you have car insurance? Okay, car insurance, at least I can understand, government is mandating it. So you are having a car insurance, right? But why would you have any other insurance? Why would you have any other insurance? Okay, to cope up with uncertainty, safeguard life, okay. So what you are saying is fear is the biggest motivation. Yes, Sukhinder. There are black swans. Okay. Now, the question that I have is, we will take life insurance, but we hope we live for a long time, right? We take health insurance, but we want to go jog, we want to have an active life where we don't want to have health insurance at all, correct? Nobody in their right mind would wreck your life. You're not actively doing something to wreck your life. I'm sure some people are smoking, drinking, yada, 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 all of that. Leave it. I don't think the group here is actively wrecking your life. But we all have health insurance. I don't think any of us, Aditi and Sajal were talking about getting a driver license now. But even then, even though they are going to get the driver license now, they are not actively planning to get into an accident. But they have that. Why? There is a fear of uncertainty. There could be a black swan. There is a random thing. Now, let me ask you this question again, another question. Last 2 years, we have not traveled anywhere at all. So I'm sure you didn't have any accident. Probably you traveled a very few kilometers. I'm sure you went and renewed your car insurance this year. Why? Probably another year also we are not going to drive. So why can't you take a break? We think the risk, the uncertainty, we are able to categorize. It's all because of, say for example, like, various number of things that happen, right? Because of the marketing, because of the media, and so on and so forth. We are able to categorize different risks, and we are saying, okay, we need to be guarded against those risks. But guess what? Luck is the flip side of risk. It's just another side of the coin, the same coin. If, say for example, everybody who went out of the house, took the car and went out, got into an accident, we wouldn't be talking about insurance at all. We will be talking about government has to do something. If everybody went out and got sick, we wouldn't be talking about health insurance. We will be talking about something else, right? It is the same thing about luck. Luck is not universal. It is not for everybody, but we have pioneered managing risk. I'm sure all of you are into project management, one way or the other. The first thing when the project comes, what do? You open up a risk register. What are the risk factors? What's the impact of that risk? How can I mitigate that risk? That's what you do. Do you actively plan how to manage luck? We don't think about it. But if you think about it, luck is another side of the coin, which is risk. One side is risk, one side is luck. That is what I believe, and that is the proposition that I'm putting it here, is that luck is the flip side of the risk, which means if you can identify and manage risk, you can identify and manage luck. Let me see whether I can convince you on that. The point here is, can we categorize luck? Like what we have categorized risk. We have disability insurance. That's one risk that we have in our personal life. Home insurance, fire insurance, car insurance. We have categorized the risk so well. Why? Because fear, uncertainty, death sells really, really well. So the media, the insurance companies, they have gone and categorized these and they have sold to us. And it is true. People randomly die, they get into accidents and everything. So we have categorized and we have covered all those insurance and risk. And in projects also, we have so many different types of risks. People risk, infrastructure risk, client risk, and we categorize all of them. But can you categorize luck in the similar fashion if the premise is that luck is another side of the coin of risk? Can we categorize it? This author, James Austin, he has categorized 4 kinds of luck, and I have gained from all of them. And I'm going to talk about all the 4 types of luck. The 4 types of luck. The first one is blind luck. You can't do anything about it. It just happens. It's the same thing like any other risk also. It just happens. Example. I graduated in 1994. In between the economic reforms that were happening in India, I didn't do anything about it. My father didn't do anything about it. My family didn't do anything about it. It happened. And I so happened to graduate when that reform was happening, and I gained from it. Blind luck. I've not done anything to deserve it. It is nothing, right? So that's blind luck. Some people are, like, say, for example, they are born in a rich family. They are born with certain talents, and so on and so forth. This is a blind luck. You can't really engineer it. So we are going to remove that. This happens. But the point that I want to make is, in your lifetime, not in a day, but in your lifetime, say, for example, you live for about 60 years. In your lifetime, you will come across blind luck one fashion or the other. In any phase of your life, you will come through a blind luck. Okay? Now, the second one is active luck. Active luck is happening because you are doing something. And I'm going to talk in detail about all the 3. The third one is descent luck, because you are able to identify a trend. The last one is a personality luck, which happens because of the unique nature of who you are. So those are the 3 lucks that we are going to talk about. But the 4 types of luck is what James Austin classified. And as I said, the first one, blind luck, whether you believe in luck or not, in your lifetime, at least once you will be a recipient of blind luck. How you use it is a different factor, but you will come across blind luck. That is always going to happen. Okay. And Vijay was commenting that there is one participant, Vijay, who is here. We worked together 15 years back, and he suddenly bumped into this particular session, and he's saying probably he's lucky to have this session. At the end of the session, I will ask him whether he's really lucky or not. But this could be a blind luck. Okay. So as I said, I'm not going to talk about blind luck. but I'm going to talk about the other 3 types of luck. In the active luck, what happens is you are active, you're doing something, but then you are doing it without really a purpose towards something. You are doing it without saying, okay, this is what I'm going to achieve. If I do this, I'm going to get that. No, you're just doing it because you love to do it. You don't know anything else to do it. So you're just doing it. And that happens. Okay. So it's an active luck. It's happening because of motion, because you are doing something. Now, I'm going to give you this example. I started blogging, writing on the net in 2003. This is the first page that I put up. August 2nd, 2003 is when I put up my site and I started writing. Every week, I would write something or the other. And I have continued that particular practice so much. Like, I mean, from 2003, I've been writing one way or the other. Sometimes I publish, sometimes I don't publish, but I have written regularly. But again, when I started, did I have a purpose? Absolutely not. There is something there. Let me see what it is. Let me improve my writing. Even I didn't understand the significance of writing, how it will contribute. I just wrote. There was no reason at all why I wrote. But what happened over the long period, I continuously wrote, and I improved my writing skills. And I was able to write in multiple different topics. Eventually, my sister and I, we published a book somewhere around 2014-15. We published a book. But if you would have come to me in 2003 and asked or told me, Joseph, you will publish a book, I would have laughed at you. Or if you would have asked me, Joseph, are you writing because you want to publish a book? I would have said, no, that's not even possible. I can't really hold somebody's attention by my writing. But it did happen because I wrote continuously. Somebody else noticed it. Say, for example, the Tribune Chandigarh paper, which is popular in the Tri-City area here, they were looking for somebody to write review technical books. So they were asking around, the journalists were asking around, the editors were asking around. Somebody referred my name because, hey, you know what? This is the guy who's a technology guy and he's writing. He always writes. So, but there was no real reason for me or a thought process in me saying, okay, I want to get published in Tribune Chandigarh. No, when I started in 2003, I was in Belgium. I didn't even know I will end up in Chandigarh. So that happened because of an action. I continue to do something without any real particular reason or any particular vision or any particular strategy. It just happened. So that is one, active luck. You continue to do something which because you derive joy out of it, you think it is good for you, there is a second order effect. So you do that. So that is active luck. Something happens because of that. The next one is discerned luck. Discerned luck is what Louis Pasteur says, chance favors the prepared mind. You are prepared. You position yourself in a place so that luck can find you. As Vijay was saying in the beginning, the luck will knock at your door, but are you prepared to open the door? Do you even recognize that particular knock is from luck? Are you able to even discern and say, hey, I need to jump ship now here because this is what the future is going to be, right? When I started my programming, I started with COBOL. But today, nobody codes in COBOL, at least in the COBOL that I learned. Maybe mainframe COBOL is still there, but in the COBOL that I learned, nobody is programming. But I had to jump programming languages because that was the discernment. If I would have stayed with COBOL, I don't think I would be here. So I was able to see something and I was able to prepare myself. Now, if you were a regular participant of this particular weekly shows, I think 2 weeks back, I took this particular session. peeking into the future by these 4 different type of framework. Projection. So you project yourself to 5 years, 10 years and say what's going to happen. And then in a preposterous one, you say, okay, what 10x action I can take so that I can speed up the future. I can speed up and find what works and doesn't work. So you are always peeking into the future. You're reading trend reports. I read trend reports. The annual reports of companies or the internet trend reports by Mary Meeker. I read those trend reports and see, okay, where is this going? Maybe then I should go there. You might know the popular phrase, I don't go where the puck is, but I go where the puck will be, right? So as a player, you want to be where the ball is, not where the ball was. Then you are missing the whole point. But you need to train yourself to identify where the ball will be, right? So likewise, I also ask myself, where is the future? Where is it going to be? Like as I was talking to Vijay as well, I firmly believe the future is partnership of networks, network of experts. Now, because it is network of experts, I am trying to put myself as an expert so that I can partner with people. And that's already happening. When I was talking about peeking into the future, I explained this further. Whether it is Nandan Nilekani, he's in government, he was in government, but he's not a government employee. He came in as an expert, he institutionalized whatever program that he needed to do, and then he went back. This is happening with the co-founder of SlideShare as well. He is now architecting the government program. So they're all coming in, and this is happening in Hollywood. This is happening. I gave all of this example. If you want, you can go and refer that. But if you peek into the future, if you read the trend reports, you will see these are the things that are happening. If these are the things that are happening, how can I get ready? So this luck is happening because of your discernment. You are saying this is what's going to happen. Some of the people here, like say for example, it could be Abhay. There are other entrepreneurs in Chandigarh whom I know. In 2000, they started a company. Why? Because they saw, oh, this internet is booming. There is outsourcing happening. Probably this is the time to capitalize on it. They discerned it. There are a lot of people, like my own age people are running companies here. The reason why are they thriving? Because in 2000 they saw, oh, this is going to be a boom. We should capture this, right? So they were able to have that discernment. And if you have that discernment, you'll be able to prepare yourself and you will be able to position yourself so that when luck hits your door, knocks your door, you are able to identify and open it, right? So that's the second, or rather the third one, discerned luck. Before I go to the last one, do you have any questions? Any questions, any comments? You can put it on chat or you can unmute and speak. Any questions so far?
Right. So Joseph, I have a question.
Yeah.
Right. How do you really balance between, what's happening today and also preparing for the future? Because, at least for me being a business owner, there's always so much happening on a daily basis, some fire here and there, that there's little energy left to
Yes.
really prepare for the future.
Very, very true. And the way I look at it, and I can empathize with you by, as a business owner, it is extremely difficult. It is very easy for me to say, but it is very difficult to balance it out, because running your day-to-day life itself, the business itself is going to be taking a toll on you, and especially in a tier 2 city, in the business that we guys are in and everything. But the way I look at that is, one, are you able to identify the trends? Some trends, okay? So you are not saying all the trends will come in. Say for example, Google Glass is something that I bet on, but it didn't come through. So there are certain things. But then can you place multiple bets, not just one bet? So the way I look at this is, one, I'm firing, this is an analogy Jim Collins gave. One, can I place multiple bets? This is like, you are going in a ship and you are firing. there's an enemy boat or enemy ship coming in. First, you are firing because you don't know, it's a dark. You don't know where they are. You're firing at random. And then you are able to locate a direction, and then you are taking all your resources and put the full gun in that. So something similar to that, you place multiple bets. You have your own criteria, whether that works or not. I mean, what will work, what doesn't work. So you have your own metrics and criteria. Once you have that, you say, okay, fine. Now this is working. I'm going full flow on it. I'm going to invest more in it. I'm going to see more in it, right? So that's the way, and that's the way I also work. Okay. So last year I started, say for example, sketching, something that I like. I did that. I also do writing my blog, so on and so forth. So I put a lot of bets, and then I say, okay, which is going well. So I evaluate, I do something at least for 90 days, which is what I teach in my Gravitas Wins course also. So say for example, this particular thing that I'm starting. So I said, I'm going to do this at least 90 days. I'm not going to stop. Even if it is only 1 or 2 people who are going to come in, I'm going to do this for 90 days. It's a bet. I'm doing this as a bet. I don't know. This is again an active luck. If at all something would happen, it is an active luck. I don't know where this will lead to. I don't have a plan. This is a bet I'm making. Now, already I'm seeing certain returns. Somebody who came in the last session, he invited me to speak to IIM Kozhikode graduates or our students now. So that was an active luck. I wasn't planning when I started this, I'll go and talk to IIM graduates or students. I didn't plan that, but that came along. But the point, Abhay, to answer to you, that's a very valid question, is that you make multiple bets, play and see what are the factors that you would evaluate to say that this is working fine, this is not working fine. And then you do this at least for certain period of time, not 1 week, 2 weeks, certain period of time, evaluate. Yes, now this is giving me returns. Sometimes it could be a second order effect. It may not be a first order effect. It might be a second order effect. And then you give a full push into it. Very good question. Anyone else? Sure. Any other questions? Very good question, Abhay. Thanks. Any other question from anybody else? Okay. If there is none, so let me go to the last one. Okay. Yeah, Vijay, as you say, yes, you learn something for a particular period of time. The another thing that I have found, the best way to learn is to do something. Like say, for example, this, while I'm doing this, someone attended the session and said, hey, you know what? Your content is good, but you could improve like this. And he connected with me few people, and that wouldn't have happened if I was sitting in dark. I wasn't doing this. And guess what? He is from Qatar, and I think it is Northeastern University. He's in a very prime position there. And he connected with me and said, hey, you know what? This is happening. So again, it need to be active. You need to act out. You need to put it out. And I will talk about it at the end. You need to do things. You can all have great ideas, but if it is all sitting in your head, it is not going to give you any results at all. You need to do things in public. That's the first session that I took. So go back and see that particular one. You need to do things in public. I see some of the people here, say for example, Sumit, he's always very active on LinkedIn, and I see few people. So I've said this earlier also, you need to be building in public. You need to put your bet in public. So that is when it's going to happen, okay? Okay, so let's continue with the last session, the last luck, type of luck. So the last one is personality luck. This personality luck happens because of who you are. It wouldn't happen for anybody else. This is you. It's distinctive because of your hobbies, because of your upbringing, because of your beliefs, because of your education, so on and so forth. Like say for example, Abhay here, he is a businessman. He's into patents. He's from a tier 2 city. Now, because of these things, certain things will happen, and only he will be able to identify. Let's say, for example, tomorrow there is some kind of an order comes through, an opportunity comes through in the patent field. I wouldn't be able to make anything out of that. I wouldn't be able to even grab it. I wouldn't even be able to understand it. But he will be able to do that. Whether he is able to gain it or not is a different aspect. But being distinctive like that, he'll be able to identify that. Right? Now, some of you guys, say for example, Sajal, she is, a girl, legal person. She is very outspoken. She is very entrepreneurial. Because of that nature, that characteristics that makes her, she will be able to identify certain opportunities, which I will not be able to identify. I will think, oh, this is too much of work, or I might say, okay, this is not for me. I can't place bets here. So I might miss that because of the different personality that I have. But she will be able to identify that because of her personality. Very distinctive. That's what she is. Because of that, she will be able to identify it. So you need to cultivate your personality. What do you like? Who you are? What's the kind of characteristics that you want to exhibit? You might be something else, but they're like, no, who you are. So what do you want to exhibit? Again, Gagan gave one of the testimony about my course. One of the things that he said is, happiness is when what you do, what you think, what you say is in harmony. That is when you are happy, and when you are happy, that shows up. That's your characteristics. Oh, this guy I can trust. Gagan I can trust because he will do what he says. And there is no two different polarities there. So then there are people who go into, and he's in sales. Now, say for example, Gagan is there and Joseph is there. Joseph is not the one who keeps his words, who says something else than what he does. Now, we both are approaching a client. Certain opportunities will come to Gagan only because of who he is. And he's going to lose some opportunities, but he's going to attract certain opportunities, probably a high-end deals, because of his personality. So this is your personality luck. Now, I started this course, Gravitas Wins. I never had this particular idea. Even though I've been a teacher, because my parents are teachers, I've been a teacher ever since I was in 8th standard. I love teaching, but I never expected to start a coaching program, run an internet coaching program, and for executives and all of that. I never had the particular thought, or I never even thought about it. 2019, one of my friend approached me and said, and this is exactly what he said. I don't know whether Ramesh is here in this session. No, Ramesh is not here. So he asked me, I am promoted as a director now. I have observed your life. Can you teach me? This opportunity came in. He couldn't have asked anybody else. This comes because of the characteristics that I exhibited. I was always posting on LinkedIn. I was always trumpeting about what I have done and where I've gone and so on and so forth. And that's also one of the things that I say, if you do not blow your trumpet, there is no music for you. So you need to blow your trumpet. So whether it is for your company, whether it is your own, you need to blow your trumpet. And I was doing that. Because of that, he observed it and he called me and said, okay, can you coach me? I started coaching him. He said, this is good. Why can't you start it as a coach program? I said, who will join? He said, no, I will talk to a few people. I will bring in the first batch. And now I'm starting the 5th batch. But that happened because of the personality that I exhibited. It's again, different people will attract certain opportunities because of who they are. So that is how they will, and obviously, timing is a matter. I don't think I would have started this particular course and been able to do 5th one, if not for the pandemic. But again, it is because of my personality and the time that comes through. And that came through, and then I was able to do that, right? So that is the personality one. It is your own, it is unique. You are able to do that. Most often, even though I have put in all the 4 differently, sometimes it can happen, all the risk happen together. You are getting into a car accident and your house is on fire and your kid is in hospital. It can happen. So likewise, the opposite can also happen. They all can work in tandem. blind luck, active luck, doesn't luck, and it has happened so many times in my life also. And one can lead to the other as well. So all of them can work together. But then for us to manage this, like how we are managing risk, we can manage luck individually, independently. We can manage it, and this is how you can manage it. Okay. Now, next action, you need to attract luck. And this is how you can attract luck. You need to start now. Go back and post whatever you have learned in LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the greatest platform, professional platform that we have now, not Facebook, not anything else. Go to LinkedIn, post the message. This is how it is. And then make it a rhythm, make it as a schedule. Maybe every Monday, every Wednesday. I understand all of you have a busy life, but you can find 1 or 2 couple of minutes every day, and then you can do that. Pursue one of the 3. I pursue all the 3 because of over the long period of time that I have done this, but pursue any one of the 3. Why? Because 1, they are a horizontal skill that you can apply in multiple roles, multiple stages in your life, and multiple different ventures that you might take. One is speaking, public speaking, writing. As I said, writing clears your mind. It gets you, it opens doors for you, writing and coding. I pursue all the 3, but you can start with 1. Any one, start with it, and then you can move on. And I teach all of this. How do you find luck? How you can actively work on it? Everything on my Gravitas Wins course. Check it out. Next batch I'm starting on April 24th. These are the people. Some of them are here. Like say for example, Brahm. He joined the course. He didn't even know that he's going to go into IIM, but he was one of my first student. The second batch after I took Ramesh that I talked about. He took the course. He went through the structured thinking. And then he applied it when he got into IEM group discussion, and he came back and said, I was the youngest guy. They all were fantastic. They all appreciated how I did, and he is now in IEM. And Mr. Kurana is here. He is a great supporter for me. Sajal is here. They will all talk about this. So you can go and check out this particular course. And I will stop now here. If you have any question, please let me know. Any questions so far? Is it all okay? Did I lose people?
Yeah, it's good.
We've gone into thinking.
how either how I can build now today, or I can how I can attract luck. Good, right. which is good.